is. Hey, Jennifer, welcome. How you doing?
I'm well. How about yourself?
Oh, doing great. Hey, thank you so much for making it tonight. Um, and
Mhm.
thanks for helping us out with this case study. We always love when members give back. It's just sharing your success, inspiring others. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, hey, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background, and why you joined Lifestyles Unlimited?
I'm trying to adjust my light. I apologize.
Oh yeah, no
So
worries. I
my
got the halo light too, but
yeah,
sometimes it
I
gets too bright.
think it's a little too bright, but so my background is actually in IT.
Yeah.
I've been in the IT field for about 15 years now, and I before Lifestyles I didn't have any experience in real estate. When I was a child, my dad dabbled in real estate for a few years, and he actually went bankrupt trying to get that right. So it was a pretty scary thing, but I know that I am not meant to work until I'm 65, and I really wanted to find a way to retire myself. So
Yep.
when another
Yeah.
life member pointed me in this direction after retiring himself and his wife as well. So here I am.
Well, Jennifer, yeah, we've had a lot of members who wish they would have known about lifestyles, who had gone into real estate and maybe had some school of hard knocks. They went through the school of hard knocks, and when they joined lifestyles, I've heard over and over again how they said, "Man, I wish I knew what I knew now after going through the program." Because
Mhm.
really, if you follow our program and you do it right, I mean, the chances of failure are extremely minimal. And it just doesn't happen. So anyway, I'm glad that you joined and that you took action. That didn't deter you from being successful with real estate. And yeah, and you have the IT background, so you're a little dorky, but you're not as dorky as David Fisher. He's in the Dungeons and Dragons, so that's
Right.
all right. So yeah, yeah, you had someone else who was a member who ended up joining, and they've been quite successful as well. Did you want to give a shout out to them?
Gary Hurst.
All right, Gary Hurst, I hope you're out there listening. You are an
Yeah,
inspiration, my friend. Thank you. So,
definitely,
hey, why
definitely.
don't we dive into your property? Um, Jennifer, we had a, single family initial mentor meeting I mean, it doesn't seem that long ago, just a couple months ago. And I'm just
Mhm.
blown away at how many properties you've acquired. I mean, it's been a couple, I think you had a few maybe prior to that, but you've gotten, since our meeting, I think you've gotten acquired like 2 or 3 properties. And this is your most recent one, right? Up in the
Right,
Colleen area?
right. They're all in the clean area, which I got to be honest, talking to other lifestyles members, they weren't really that interested, but this is where I'm from, so it's what I'm familiar with. And my realtor actually she does the same thing, so I got really lucky to find her, and to have somebody to help me out that way and just kind of show me a little bit, as well as you with the numbers and things like that.
Well, Jennifer, you've really taken the bull by the horns, and you've proven to all the members out there that you don't have to be in the San Antonio or Houston areas or Dallas
Mhm.
areas to be successful. You can find properties on your own. I've done the same thing in the Austin area. So yeah, tell us about this property. When I'm looking at these pictures, it looked like it was a fairly clean property, but still, you made some upgrades. It looks like with the flooring and painting those. Are those new cabinets or did you paint them?
I painted the existing cabinets. Everything was actually in really decent shape. Um, I don't want to talk bad about other real estate investors, but the person who ended up selling the property on the listing, I don't know anything about them, but it was an investment company. But they took on the counter where all the real estate agents leave their cards. I mean, there was a stack this thick. And I
Huh.
just kept looking around and I was like, why is nobody taking this? So I guess it was just meant for me. I mean, I still feel like it was a steal. I mean, you can see even like, the vessel sink, but in the mirror, you can see it had the pink in this bathroom. The other bathroom had the blue. Um, but we just refinished it. We reglazed it, found somebody in the area that does reglazing and just sprayed the whole thing. So inexpensive but effective. I mean, the tile was in amazing shape, so it just needed a little freshening up. The same thing with the floor tile here. I put in LVP in all the rentals so far, and it's just done better. People drop things, break the tile and that. So,
Oh, right. Right, and
yeah.
that's one of the things like David will teach in the 2-day. We're into the vinyl plank for that very
Mhm.
reason. Like, we don't like carpet. We're not as into tile. So
Mhm.
hey, let's break down the numbers, and this is what's incredible.
Yeah.
This is definitely meets David's technical term, pee in your pants exciting. I'm blown away. It's not just this one, but it seems like all your houses are home runs like this. So walk us through the numbers here. How it looks like what you got it for 80,000?
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah,
And like I said, I still don't really know how we got that number because the market right now, I'm sure in most areas, but especially our area, for the first time in like 10 or 15 years, they're actually going up in price. So again, I don't know how we got it for this number, but anyway, I'm just
what
blessed, I guess.
you are extremely. That is amazing. Yeah, maybe they want to just close quickly. They like you. You build that rapport. I mean, there's a lot of ways why you can get it. Why we investors get it for a cheaper discounted price. But
Right.
that ARV of 130, that's awesome. Was that where you were expecting it, or was it right around what you were expecting?
I
When
was
that appraisal
actually
came in?
expecting like in the area at the time that I purchased, it was like 115, 120.
Wow, it was
But
way
again, the
higher.
market just within the month or two that I've had the property has just gone up that much
Yeah,
for these types of homes. So
There's
yeah.
that appreciation I talked about.
that's it. That's one of the 5 ways we make money in real estate. David, have you
Hmm.
peed yourself with these numbers?
Yeah,
You won't show us. Don't
her
stand
numbers
up.
are better than my first deal. I'm kind of jealous right now.
Yeah, no kidding.
My
No
first one was
kidding.
3 grand out of pocket. I made 29 grand. She only has 1,600 out of pocket. So even in today's market, deals are out there. I just want people to know that.
Yeah, and I know, and Jennifer, really, you really are blessed. I mean, I've looked at your portfolio. A lot of your deals are like less than 5 or 10,000 out of pocket. I'm just blown
Mhm.
away. This one is exceptional. It looks like you're making well over $300 a month, which is great. 4,300 a year, cash on cash return of 263%. How many of you out there can say you're making that in the stock market? That's just incredible. And then on
Right.
top of that, when you do sell it, the 32,000 is just sitting there waiting for you. It's and that's you know um, you put in 1,600. If you divide that into it, your return on capital gain percentage is almost 2,000%. Just amazing. Congratulations with that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And listen,
Jennifer, I have a quick question for you. Are these returns better than your 401k and your IRA?
Yes. For anybody who, and I think you talked about it once in one of your seminars that I attended, but the CARES Act right now because of COVID,
Yep.
I yanked
So
my
you put
money.
out the 401k without a penalty. It's up to 100k, but I'll break that all down this weekend for them.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, I bought one property out of my own pocket, but after that, I took that money out and that's what I've been using for my investments. So yeah, exactly. But look at, like you said, look at the numbers. I
Yeah,
mean,
people are so worried about taxes and penalties, which is no penalty right now, which is awesome. But what is your 401k, IRA, and TSP doing now? And look what she's doing. She could have never made this in her 401k. What do you want? 3% return? Oh, we lost 2% the next year. This is awesome. I'm very proud of you, Jennifer. This is awesome. Yep.
thank you.
congratulations. This is great. And it's not just this one. I mean, in the last 2 years, David, she's gotten 5. If we want to look at that total
Well, look, you
portfolio.
have a summary for her on the 5. I mean, that's pretty darn good. Got to be politically correct.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, just under 2 years, $200,000 almost in unrealized capital gain just sitting there waiting for you. And we all know that with the 5 ways we make money with real estate, it's going to continue to go up. That's the general trend with appreciation. You got principal pay down by your residents. Not to, and then you have the cash flow on top of that, almost 30,000 a year. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And are you looking down the word, Jennifer, where you don't have to work in the industry?
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
'cause
am.
the only thing I know about it is that Joey is full of it. That's
Well, hey,
awesome.
listen, do we have questions? I know, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
forget about.
behind the scenes.
And of course, she wanted to also thank Joey jumps ahead really quick.
Sorry
She
about
wanted
that.
to thank Chad from Amp Living, Chad Roten.
Yeah, Chad Roden, you're the man.
Okay. Well, let's get to the questions. We'll get to the questions.
Yes. So the first question that I have is from Brad, and he said, "Can you explain that cash out of pocket number?" He said he feels like it should be more money out of pocket or more money that needs to be put down. So probably, can you clarify, Jennifer? Did you use a hard money lender on this to help keep that cash out of pocket so low?
Right, exactly. I might let them explain the technical things about that, but yes.
Let me explain this for the new people at third grade level so they can understand what I'm saying. What a hard money lender is, it's a specialized lender that will lend you all the money to buy the property plus all the money to fix it up, typically between 70% and 75% of what it's worth once it's fixed up. So I'm going to use simple numbers. Let's say she found this deal for $50,000. It needs $20,000 worth of work, but once she fixes it up, it's worth 100K. Well, they're willing to they're willing to lend 70% of that 100K. In other words, 70K. Well, 50 to buy it, 20 to fix it up. Boom, that's all the money. That whatever's left afterwards is what she has to come up with. That's why it was so little out of pocket. And don't worry if you don't understand that right now. I break this down step by step how to do that. So she gets with a hard money lender, she buys it, she fixes up, she puts the renter in there, and then she refis that into a traditional loan that you know, which is called a conventional loan. Okay.
Yep.
That's a 10-second version.
That's it. Yeah,
Mary would explain it up here, so I want to bring it back down here.
that's good. Yeah, it took me a few times. Takes most members a few times to just understand. It's kind of like it seems too good to be true.
Yep.
You know, you can make that work like that, but
That's why it's worth coming to seminars. So you don't have to put out $50,000 to buy a house if I can show you do it for half that. So it's kind of cool.
right.
So the only other question I have at this time is from Nathan, and he said, "Jennifer, do you use Quest to evaluate your properties?"
I have not. I use Joey.
There you go. Joey is your mentor. Great. Make
Yeah,
sure.
exactly though, right, exactly.
Yeah,
Joey's my mentor,
pay for
so
the membership, use your mentors. I love that answer. Great answer.
yeah.
And I love helping you. Yeah.
Remember, he was an accountant, so he has his debit and credit tattoos. He'll show
Debit
you,
and
but
credit
in a weird
tattoos.
place. Don't stand up and show him.
I'd show you, but I can't take off my shirt, you know.
Yeah.
Work, you know.
His gills come out. That's weird.
So I got another question from Anthony, and he asked one more time to clarify, are all 5 of your properties in Killeen? And he said, what is your thoughts on the market there?
Great question.
All 5 of my properties are in Killeen. I personally have not had any issues, but we do have a lot of military here, which I think was some of the concerns when I spoke to others, other members, you know, about military, because they can get out of their lease with orders and things like that. Some of my tenants are military, some are not. And I personally haven't had any issues with that. And the market is, again, why this deal is so good is because we are creeping up quickly, actually. And like I said, the market in the past 10, 15 years hadn't moved at all. So this is a really good opportunity to, if you can find a good deal, then the value, the after repair value for the house is going to be a lot more than it has
And
been.
just so folks know, just because she's probably 10% of her renters are actual military. The other 90% are going to be people in the service industry. You know, the people that work on the base. That's who our renters are. So it's not going to be all military families. So they understand that around the base.
Right.
The same thing happens in San Antonio. We have like 4 or 5 bases here, but probably only 10% of my renters are actually military. So great question. Anything else, Danielle?
Question from Jim. And so Jim asked, did you use the same realtor to find all 5 properties, or do you have multiple realtors working for you?
I personally used the same realtor. I did find I guess I should rephrase that. The deals that I found through a realtor, I used the same one, but I know a property manager that my mom has rented for the past 30 years from the same woman, the same house, and she just purchased this year, praise Jesus. But she has been my mom's property manager for the past 30 years, and she's getting ready to retire. So there has been a few deals that she's kind of thrown my way and said, hey, might you be interested in these, because I'm retiring and I'm not going to be, I don't want any properties anymore. So I guess yes and no to the question.
Yeah. Well, and we don't care where you get it, as long as it's a good deal. And what's great is having a mentor, making sure it's a good deal for you. Having that second
Exactly. And having the relationship. I know a lot of people say, well, why don't, I think you discussed that too, David, why don't you just become a realtor? But for me, those relationships are what's valuable. You know, my realtor knows a wholesaler, or you know, that property manager.
Excited I am to hear that, Jennifer. You actually are somebody who paid attention to my class. Our job is not to have a career as a realtor or a handyman. We should never pick up a hammer. We should never be a realtor. We should be investors. That's what you're doing it right. Yeah,
Right.
Good stuff. Awesome.
So 2 more questions, and they're actually pretty similar. So Nathan had a follow-up question. So he asked, since Joey is the one evaluating properties, he asked, Joey, what are you using to pull comps?
Yeah, I mean, I have Quest is excellent. I used it as a member, and it's fantastic. You get like actual MLS data. So in the Killeen area, I would use Quest. In the Austin area, Quest as well. Also, if you get access to like the MLS directly, that's a good option. So I do have access for like the Austin MLS area.
Yeah, our mentors, you know, we have access to things regular people don't. So
yeah,
tools.
And then the last that I'm going to do, and then over to you, is Joseph asked, what is the typical problem that a beginner investor faces, especially on the first deal?
As part of this seminar, I've heard a lot of people get nervous about the tenants, and the first property that I purchased actually already had tenants, so it was I guess maybe a little bit easier, and then I was very nerve-wracking doing the evaluations for tenants, because more than likely you're going to have more than one person that's interested in the property. So then okay, I got to evaluate everybody and make sure that their personality matches mine, or all those things. But then also doing things ethically and making sure that you're like not picking somebody else for a reason that you can't. So
fair housing law.
Fair housing laws. Yeah, we follow that.
So, but it is, you're like, did I pick the right person? Did I really do the right thing? Or you do second guess it. But I mean, again, you do your checks like they teach you. And then, so if they pass everything, well, then you just have to know that you did your due diligence and that you picked the right person.
And David goes into that big time.
Listening, I spent about an hour teaching you how to screen your residents. And that's where Jennifer learned how to do it the right way. So she mitigated that risk in that case. Joey, why don't you answer the same question? Because you deal with a lot of our members that are brand new. What do you think the biggest fear or whatever for a new member, or just getting started? What would be your answer as mentor?
Oh man, well you are the first time you're watching one of our presentations, I think your number one fear, because you're going to get excited, the number one thing that's going to happen is all of your family or friends are going to be like, whoa, wait, you want to think about this. My family did that, because they don't understand. I mean, you have something you need to realize is that you need to ask yourself, what position are they in to be giving you advice? Are they multimillionaires giving you advice, or are they like middle class and have middle class mentality that's holding you back? Because that's my one piece of advice I'd give for the people listening right now is just where are they at? Where are they at in life? And is that where you want to be? Should you really be listening to them giving you advice whether you should move forward in real estate or not?
And to follow that up, most of the people that are giving you advice never bought real estate. They tell you what they heard or what they think.
They just heard the galley down the street or whoever, right? Exactly.
But they never have the story directly. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate so much, Jennifer, you giving back. Thank you so much. And Joey, appreciate your time as well.
Of course. Yes. Thank you so much, Jennifer.